Hello, I'm Min Kobayashi, and here I am today to do a haul, both of library, thrift, as well as new books. I never buy new books, but this is a new experience for me. I'm going to start off with the new books because they're really pretty. The Poetry of World War I, which has a collection of many poems from the First World War, one of my favorite time periods despite the fact that it's brutal and terrible. Then I have Shakespeare's sonnets. I already have a collection of his poems. I've read 17 of his works, so I figured that I should probably read more than a few of his sonnets. The poems of Emily Dickens. I have been waiting to read her books for some time, and I'm really excited that I can start now. The Obelisk Gate. This is the second book in the 5th season series, which is also known as Broken Earth saga. I'm not really sure what this book is about because I haven't read the first one yet, but it was cheap and it looks beautiful, and I've heard nothing but great things and diversity about the series, and I'm excited to read it. On to my thrift store books. Anne of Avonlea by Lucy Maud Montgomery. This is a book that I have read before, but I have never ever owned it, so I'm very happy that I can own it and read it because Anne of Green Gables is one of my books that I will always love, and come on, I'm Canadian, I can totally get away with it. And I was really excited because I found this book, The Wizard Heir by Cinda Williams Chima. Yes, I should be able to give you a synopsis of this, however, all I know is that there's wizards and fantasy, and the person's name is Seth. Interesting. Book I bought a while ago and have totally forgotten to give it in any of my hauls. This is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I don't think I've ever actually said his name, I've just seen it. It's actually very different from vampires that most people think. More of a mystery, except for now, you know, hundreds of years later, we understand what they're talking about, so it's not as much of a mystery. But I'm really excited to delve into this. Vampires isn't my thing, but reading classics are. Everyone should be really proud. This is The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. These are the second editions and they're really old and really pretty, and my sister bought them for me 3 years ago. I have had them sitting at my parents' house and have not read them, and I'm going to finally endeavor to read Lord of the Rings. And yes, I have not ruined myself with the movies and have avoided spoilers like the plague for the last 20 years. You know, the first 100 pages, 200 pages are boring as heck, and everyone tells me that, and it doesn't really encourage me to read them. But I'm going to read these beautiful things because I know I'm gonna love them. My library books. First of all, I have The Sun and the Flowers by Rupi Kaur. I did a review of the first book by her, and this is modern poetry, and it's quite real and quite open. I'm about halfway through it right now. I have this book, which I absolutely love. I love like the nerd and theory part of YouTube, and I was going through books that NerdSync said he had read in his favorite books, and this was one of them, The Law of Superheroes. Two real-life lawyers, and they talk about how superheroes would act inside the law of, I'm assuming, the United States. After reading the first page, I was in love, and I read a few chapters, and it's beautiful, so if you're a nerd like me and love superheroes, I definitely recommend it. And then talking about being a complete nerd, I don't buy a lot of comic books and stuff like that, but I do read them. And this one is Watchmen by Alan Moore. This is one of the most defining books in like comic book history. I know that it's outside of like the DC Marvel universe, but it definitely impacted, I believe, especially DC. I'm excited to delve in and read it. John Truby presents The Anatomy of the Story. So this is a writing book. I'm excited to delve into it and read it. Yes, I do in fact read fiction from the library, and this is The Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Ames. This is one for SFF. I'm excited to read it. The premise is that these were like the greatest heroes back in the day, but now they're old and fat and out of commission, and now they have to go and save someone and get back in the game. And I've heard good things from it, so I'm excited to delve into it. And tell me what is your favorite and most anticipated book that you're planning on reading. Have a great time and happy adventures!